Hello, hello. Welcome back to all of my lovely subscribers. And if you are new here, my name is Tati, and this is my space to talk about all the books that I have read or that I am reading. So today we are going to talk about my January TBR. And let me just say, I cannot remember the last time I have been so excited about a stack of books. Oh, this is going to be a great month of reading, so let's get into it. The first book on my January TBR is Chlorine by Jade. This is a book that I recently added to my overall TBR. I had not heard of it until super recently, and I think I found it when I was looking for books similar to Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield, because I have been in this strange fiction and speculative fiction mood lately. So I was looking up similar books and this came up. And it really caught my attention because it is about a girl. She is a competitive swimmer at, I think, in a high school. And she is obsessed with the sport and struggles to balance her obsession with that with just real life. And she's also obsessed with mermaids, like to the point where the inside cover says that all of her school trauma and stuff are merely human concerns. These are the concerns of those confined to land, those with legs. It says that the creature that she's always longed to become is the mermaid. So I think there could be some sort of like bodily transformation in here, but it's definitely described as a coming of age story as well. And it's by an Asian American author, and the main character in this is also Asian American and struggles with growing up in a predominantly white high school. So that is always good to read a little bit of diversity as well. So very excited about Chlorine by Jade. Next up, yes, I jumped on the hype train. This is The Running Man by Stephen King. This was supposed to be my book club's December read, but I did not read it in December, so I'm going to read it in January. And the goal is for all of us to get together and watch the new movie. I have seen the original movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I saw that movie before I ever even knew it was a book. And so I'm really excited to kind of have this trifecta of reading the book, rewatching the Schwarzenegger movie, and then watching the latest remake and seeing how they all compare together. That's really exciting to me. And I love a good Stephen King, but I know this was originally published under his pseudonym Richard Bachman, which Stephen King has said was used as a way to, first of all, not oversaturate the market with Stephen King books, but also to see how his writing performs when it's not stamped with Stephen King. I did a little bit of side research, and I want to say it didn't perform that well, but then the story of how Richard Bachman got uncovered as Stephen King is actually kind of wild. Some guy working at, I want to say, a book selling store, this was like in the 80s, I think, started noticing the similarities between the two and then somehow figured it out. I can't remember. Go look it up. It's very interesting. I'm very familiar with Stephen King's horror books, but I believe this is more of a sci-fi thriller with dystopian elements, and I'm basing that off of the original Schwarzenegger movie. This will be really fun to read and experience Stephen King as a thriller writer. That is the second book on my January TBR, The Running Man by Stephen King. Next up, we have Private Rites by Julia Armfield. Yes, this is the same author I referred to earlier who wrote Our Wives Under the Sea. I'm not sure which was published first, Our Wives Under the Sea or Private Rites, but after I finished Our Wives Under the Sea, I wanted to definitely read Private Rites. And the synopsis of this book is so delicious. It is almost this water world vibe. Basically, it's a climate fiction, pending apocalypse kind of story where it just keeps on raining and the world is starting to flood, systems are shutting down, and then there are these three sisters who are also dealing with the death of their father while the world is, I don't know, trying to deal with this pending apocalypse. But then also people are turning to old rituals and religions. So it makes me feel like there's also this like cultish or cult-like phenomenon happening, and it says there's something sinister happening. So I really think this is going to be eerie, dystopian, apocalyptic drama, and I am so excited. It just seems like such an interesting premise. I'm very excited. And all of these are pretty short books, which is good because there are a lot of books on this list. This is Private Rites by Julia Armfield. The next book on our list, spoiler, it has a bookmark in it. It is The Possession of Alba Díaz by Isabel Cañas. And I have never read a book by this author, although I have heard of her previous book, which is The Vampires of El Norte, I want to say. And then when I was looking her up on Goodreads, I also saw she has another book titled The Hacienda. So she tends to write speculative horror, and she is Mexican American, and her writing is all based upon her heritage and her studies because she has a doctorate, I believe. Yeah, she has a doctorate in Near Eastern languages and civilizations. So it says she writes fiction inspired by her research and her heritage. That's super interesting to me. Basically, Alba Díaz is possessed by something from a silver mine that her husband is, I think, inheriting. And there's also this other forbidden love. Oh, it's her fiance, not her husband. They're not actually in love. It's like a marriage of convenience. And then there's this like side romance, like forbidden love plot line. So excited. And if this is good, I am definitely going to go read Vampires of El Norte and Hacienda also. I'm really excited about this author because she seems to be writing stories that I am so intrigued by. Also, this book has a very small Easter egg reference to Vampires of El Norte. Nothing that you need to read in order to understand. It's just like a reference in passing to men going missing in El Norte. That's literally all it says, but oh, I love a good reference. So as soon as I saw that and I'm aware of her other books, I was like, ooh, how fun. This is The Possession of Alba Díaz by Isabel Cañas, and I am already reading it. Next up, this book is pretty well known by now. It is Annihilation by Jeff VanderMeer. I have seen bits and pieces of the movie with Natalie Portman, and that's it. I don't know any spoilers. Basically, it's about this Area X where the government keeps on sending in these expeditions to see what is in there, and every expedition ends differently. So the first one ended with the reports of a pristine and Edenic landscape, but the second one ended in mass suicide, the third in a hail of gunfire as its members turned on one another, etc., etc. And so this book follows the 12th expedition. What I didn't know when I picked this up is that it is the first book in a trilogy. So I just need to be mindful of that because this will officially be the first series that I read in 2026. I wrapped up all the series I was reading at the end of 2025, and I've been super excited to have a clean slate. I will just need to decide pretty quickly, is this a series that I am going to keep reading after the first book, or if I don't enjoy it, is it one that I am going to not finish? So we will find out. That is Annihilation by Jeff VanderMeer. Okay, this next book is also a paranormal haunting type story, but with a historical racial vengeance, I think. When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen. I've read the synopsis a couple times, and it is about this haunted plantation where I think Mira is from this place where the plantation is, and she leaves and comes back. And the plantation, it's modern times, but it's said to be haunted by ghosts of slaves who were brutally tortured at this plantation. And then now in modern times, they are also almost like perpetuating the racist historical vibes, for lack of a better word. The bar serves antebellum themed drinks. Entertainment includes horrifying reenactments, and the service staff is nearly all black. Basically, I think there is some sort of like horrifying paranormal event where I'm assuming the angry spirits kind of get back at the people who are perpetuating this history line or this romanticization of a horrible, horrible time period. So I am really excited for this. I hope it is the perfect blend of spooky paranormal horror and racial justice. We will see. But that is When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen. And I need another drink because I'm starting to get that vocal fry from talking too much. Hopefully that helps. Okay, only 2 books left. The next book on my January TBR is The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. I don't remember where I saw this, but I ended up putting it on hold at the library because I was just like, I really want to read that. Yeah, this just seems like a weird, really weird horror. It is about a castle that has been under siege for 6 months, and the people inside are, starting to starve. And seems like people are maybe thinking about cannibalism. And then the divine figures of the Constant Lady and her saints have arrived, despite the barricaded gates offering succor in return for devotion. So it seems like the people in this castle kind of get sucked into this weird religion or cult, and I don't know what that entails, but there are 3 women. They are tempted, but they also realize there are weird things going on, that maybe not everything is as it seems. So there's the tension between them as they're all being tempted, but also not, but also skeptical, and then the weird horror things going on around them. I really think that knowing less about this one is better. So I don't want to read the inside cover too much more, and I am so excited to read this. I hope it's as weird and riveting as it sounds like it's going to be. Sometimes I think stuff is going to be so intriguing and then it just isn't. So I really hope that this is, because it just seems fun. And I have to say, I love the cover of this one. Actually, I love the cover of a lot of these. That is The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. All right, last but not least, we have Ring Shout by Djèlí Clark. I don't think that's how you say that name. I apologize. I usually do my research before filming these videos on pronunciations that I'm not sure about, and I forgot to do that before filming this video because I was so antsy to get this video done. I've tried to film this so many times. But anyways, I had seen this around, and I think I had it on my TBR for a long time, not knowing what it was about. And then I took it off because at one point I completely cleared my Goodreads TBR and started with a clean slate because I was overwhelmed with so many books on there that I didn't even remember why I had added them. And so that seemed like the easiest solution was just to wipe it and start over. Long story short, I had heard of this one, but then recently, shout out to Mochi D on TikTok, they recently convinced me to put this back on my TBR, and here it is. The inside cover says, "In America, demons wear white hoods." And basically it's about this group of resistance fighters fighting the KKK. But if I'm reading the inside cover, it seems like almost like the KKK has like almost summoned like literal demons or something. I don't know. I'm probably going to read the book and be like, wow, I was so off on that. But it says they hunt their hunters and send the clan's demons straight to hell. But something awful's brewing in Macon, and the war on hell is about to heat up. Can Maurice stop the clan before it ends the world? Yeah, there's some sort of demonic or paranormal thing going on here, and that seems so interesting, actually. And this one I think is the shortest book of them all. Yeah, it looks like it's less than 200 pages. This could be like a small little snack that just packs a huge punch. I don't know. That is it, my friends. That sums up my January TBR. There are 8 books here, and I am just so excited to get into these, to review these. I think it's going to be a great month. My goal this year is to read about 6 books a month. I am pretty determined to read all 8 of these. Maybe I won't read them all in time. I'm determined. So if I could read these all in January, it'll be a really great kickstart to the year and a really good little buffer for my reading goal. And these I'm just excited about literally all of these. Like sometimes I have TBRs where I'm like, that's the one I want to read. No, all of these. It's like hard to pick which one I want to read first or next. Yeah, how exciting. I'm sorry this is such a late video. I have really, really tried, but we are here. I think this one is working. The camera hasn't died. The microphone hasn't died. I think we're good. Thank you for watching my videos. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.